should create that. You'll notice it inserts keyframes after you've pasted. This is an annoyance, but there's nothing you can do about it. Let's do one right in the middle. Oh no, we want to get rid of those keyframes. So select them and right-click Clear Keyframes. Good. Same over here. So let's see here. Just the standard, like, breathing loop. The tail is always a problem, because that means we'll have to insert more keyframes for the body. The rest of it doesn't probably need it. So just locking the C-box layer. I usually do something like this. Cue the whole thing. Slightly scale every piece. Then go back and correct. Check and make sure the feet are in the right spot. Make the arms move a little bit. The head probably shouldn't change where it's pointing either. Looks like he animates pretty well. Okay, now we can screw around with the body. So obviously I needed more detail here. And I've unintentionally deleted a point I wanted to keep. Select, delete. Snap this to a new existing point. Let's hope it took that. Right-click copy frames, right-click paste frames, that way they're guaranteed the same. Okay, the tail is always a problem, because tails require more frames of animation. Luckily this one's not too complicated. There's no good way to do this, so I recommend making a manual guide just to keep yourself in line with what the hell the tail's actually doing. Those of you with tails will sympathize. So let's see, next frame. You can actually make this a shape tween to kind of outline what you're trying to do. Copy frames, Paste frames. Where are we going? Going the other way. So that's your basic tail wag. So now if I want the body to follow that, I'm going to have to insert some keyframes for the body, which... Where's my cage method now? I know, Aku. It would be so easy if I had, you know, OpenGL, but still. Whew. Shit. Yeah, this is the example I'm using to make characters. Hopefully people can learn from watching these series of videos, which will be about 5 or 6 of them. So... Anyway, you don't ever want to insert keyframes in shape tweens. It's a bad idea. You want to copy, paste. Ideally, you can match them together, but that's not trivial. If you really wanted to be perfect about it, you could try this. You add temporary layers, and you lock everything except the 2 you're working with. And then you go in and manually edit these new layers to match the ones that are in the keyframe. This is overkill generally, but you can do it this way, and that's a technique if you're doing something intense. So you literally add 2 new layers just temporarily. Go in and make sure everything matches up 1-to-1 as much as possible. This is much slower than just, you know, manually eyeballing it, which I would recommend in this case, but for the purposes of demonstration, whatever. Now you might ask, why don't you ever want to insert keyframes in a shape tween? The answer is, when you do that, Flash will insert tons of garbage data into your shapes, and they'll basically be unusable. I'll demonstrate this after I get this one working. You will basically be astounded at just how horrible it treats your shapes. And the reason is the way Flash works inside. When it creates a shape tween in your Flash file output, it's literally making 2 copies of shapes that are similar every time there's a shape tween. It's not wanting to behave there, is it? So, since there's a start shape and an end shape, every keyframe has the start shape and then the next shape. This keeps the number of vertices consistent so that the animation makes sense. Okay, so now that I've matched those 2 up, I can drag them over on top of this layer, and then I can delete these 2 temporary layers I created. Now I'm going to bet that they're going to be identical since the way I made this animation, that's true. Again, it creates those, clear keyframe. Okay, now let's make the tail wag. Now that we've got the shapes we need to manipulate, we can do so. Actually, let's just kill the belly for the time being.